to Would I Lie to You, the show that sorts the truth from the lies. Let's meet tonight's panellists. He's got the shortest hair on his team, but weirdly, of the three of them, he still looks the girliest. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Mulligan. And joining Jesse on his team tonight, she supported the Green Party in the last election and they got their best ever result. Just imagine how well they might have done without her. Ladies and gentlemen, Robin Malcolm. And if Jesus had been born in Waitakere City, this is exactly what he would have looked like. Ewan Gilmore. All right, leading the opposing team tonight, a man who you would take home to your grandmother so that she could finish knitting his hair, John Bridges. And on John's team tonight, he's the man who never thought he would be fired from breakfast TV before me, Oliver Driver. And finally, tonight, she's a comedienne, a poet and an actress, which means she can claim the dole in New Zealand 3 times a week. Penny Ashton. Now to our first round, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things just a little harder, they have never seen the card before. They have absolutely no idea what they'll be faced with, because they've never seen the card before. It's up to the opposing team, of course, to sort the truth from the lies. And we will start, Jesse, with your team. And Robin, you can go first.
My outrageous fortune contract stipulated that 3 rotisserie chickens be delivered to my dressing room each morning at 6 a.m.
That's 3 rotisserie chickens.
Which series? Because I'm sure on series 1 it was just thank God I've got the job, and by series 4 I can imagine you having rotisserie chickens.
No, it was series 3, because by then we were pretty confident that the show was going to keep going. It was just the fact that I wanted a high-protein, salad-y type diet, and so I would always have chicken.
Why 3?
In case you stuffed one up, or...
It's Robert and I ruined my first chicken. Can you see that? Look, we're just going to get 3 from now on.
I want 3 chickens from now on.
Well, it seemed like a good number. I was given the option of 1 to 5, and I thought 3 was a good option. And I would take them home. I had kids, and we ate a lot of chicken.
So no one hires you and then says, how many chickens do you want? 1, 2, 3, 4. I just had to tick a box. 1 to 5. How many chickens?
No,
this never happens.
No, it wasn't quite. No, within the contract, because you could only negotiate a certain amount of money. There'd be a whole pile of other little perks. So you'd get to negotiate your food. You'd get to negotiate, like I had a petrol card.
The thing that I struggle with here, Robin, is that I can imagine the petrol card. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, I've got to drive petrol.
Card, then.
3 rotisserie chickens.
All right, well, look, I'll just admit something, because it's kind of... the reason why I did that was sort of because I could. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Are you quite hard to work with?
Some would say yes, some would say no.
She demanded I sit next to her with no pants on tonight, and I reluctantly complied.
So, when you say rotisserie, this isn't just a matter of going down to the supermarket and buying 3.
No.
You actually made them and install, a rotisserie oven?
Yeah, they cooked them on site.
And how about you, Paul? Do you have anything you don't ask for?
There is nothing I don't ask for. Nothing at all. And there is nothing I don't get. Penny, you must have made some pretty outrageous demands at times.
No, I mean, I'm in theatre and solo shows generally. Like, when I did my show...
There's no one to ask.
You know?
I would just like to have somebody else backstage.
Yeah, really.
I can honestly say that if you ever work for SPP and you want rotisserie chickens, I have set a precedent.
All right, John, what does your team think?
Well, what do you think, Penny?
I don't think it's true.
OK, what do you think,
If it is, dumb.
Oliver?
Well, it falls apart of me for a couple of reasons. One is the 1 to 5 chickens. And the other thing is I work at SPP and there's no rotisserie oven in that building.
OK.
So I'm saying a definite lie.
On a hardware basis, you're going a lie. Well, I have a lot of respect for Robin for almost pulling it off, for sowing even a seed of doubt about 3 chickens, but we're going to say it's a lie.
And it's unanimous.
It is, in fact, a lie.
Thank God.
Yeah, we go.
Foiled by the lack of a rotisserie oven. Oliver Driver.
I once got into an argument with a woman who was convinced I was newsboy Jeremy Wells.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that's true.
It does seem Paul.
Yeah,
Well, we got you on the show.
Aren't you?
That's how I got on the show. That's a lot of people think I look like Jeremy Wells. And I was at a Turkish cafe and this woman came up to me and said, "Hey, just wanted to say, complete history of New Zealand, love it." And I went, "Me too."
I don't think you do.
Ewan, do people ever think you're...
No, I get Paul Henry all the time. Tell us about this argument. So it was an argument.
Well, it was an argument.
So she's going, "Yes, you are," and I'm going, "No, I'm not."
Well,
She's going,
no, it was essentially like that. She said to me, "I love a complete history of New Zealand." I went, "Great, but that's not me. I don't make that show." And you're thinking about Jeremy Wells. And she went, "I'm just trying to give you a compliment." And I went, "I know, but I do another show. I do a show that you don't watch, clearly." After about 5 minutes of this, I just went, "Look, I'm sorry, I'm just screwing with you. Thank you very much. We all work really hard on the show." And it's great that people like you love it.
Why didn't you just take the compliment? You know what I mean? Like, why would you argue with the
Because it feels a bit odd to kind of take the credit for somebody else's thing. You know, I mean, I'm sure you do it all the time, being only vaguely recognisable. So I'm sure the only recognition you ever get is when people mistake you for somebody who is more famous than you. But you can't.
Well, I haven't done as many one-act plays attended by 3 people as you have, but I'm working my way there.
I guess, ironically, probably on the other side of town, somebody was complimenting Jeremy Wells for his excellent performance on Sunrise. Or not.
Sorry. Hey, what do you think, Ewan? Do you think he's telling the truth, or do you think it's a lie?
It could be true. It could be true. I don't know.
Robin?
You haven't actually given an answer, you know.
I think it's true.
Oliver, what is it?
Yes, well, in fact, it is actually true. Well done.
I know the feeling, Oliver, though I regularly get into screaming matches with people who are convinced that I'm George Clooney. Ewan, your turn.
I take my surfboard down to the local public swimming pool and do lengths on it.
The trouble is I can believe Ewan does almost anything that you could write.
That's right, there's no boundaries.
There's no bit where you go, "Oh, that sounds a bit far-fetched."
No.
Can you actually surf on it?
Oh, no, that's why I go to the pool. I figure build up confidence.
Can you swim?
That's why I take the surfboard.
Which swimming pool are we talking about?
Orotier Primary School.
Do you push children out of your way as you go?
No, I try to go when it's quiet. But if I have to.
How long does it take you to do a length? How many strokes?
Oh, I don't time myself, but it doesn't take too long.
All right, no need to get to it.
Just let me live through it, right? I'm on there. I'm on the board.
Yep.
Right, I've drifted a little bit already. And I'm just trying to learn how to jump up onto the board, you see, and I figure, you know.
Isn't that better with a wave?
He lines 25 6-year-olds up at one end to go like this. Create a bit of...
I'm going to now. So you paddle, right? You've got to learn how to paddle and then go from the paddle to the jump up. Now, you can't do that on the sand. No, you know, you go down to the beach and they practice on the sand.
When you say practicing on the sand, are you saying that part of learning to surf is to stand on a fixed board on the sand? Because isn't that essentially just standing? I mean, what is the great difference between standing on the sand and now climb up on the board? You're basically still standing about 1.5 inches higher up.
Well,
how long is the sand process? I mean, is that like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of hardcore standing on the surfboard?
Until you feel confident enough to try water.
Like 25
And I tried water. I thought, I've got me confidence here. I can go from the lying down position on the sand, pretending to do this, to the standing up position, looking pretty cool. Okay, I thought, right, I've got this nailed. I'm going to go try it in the water, and I just about killed myself. So I thought, right, the only way to try this is in the school pool.
I think it makes a lot of sense, and the only problem for most of us is that we would have too much shame to do it. And I think you've just seen a man who is big enough to put his ego aside and go practice in a kid's pool.
I just want to...
You've made me feel different about it now.
Time to make a call on this one, John.
I don't know about this one.
It's a tricky one.
Make a decision.
I think we're going to say it's a lie. I'm just going to say it's a lie.
All right. It is a lie, is it, or not?
It is a lie.
And at the end of that round, John's team are ahead 70 points to 50. It is anyone's race. I'm doing the scoring. Join us after the break when we will be playing This Is Mine. Welcome back to Would I Lie to You? Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Jesse's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection. It's up to John's team to spot who's telling the truth from the lie. Please welcome this week's special guest, Adam Brown. Ewan, who is Adam?
This is Adam. He works for the local power board down my way and once gave me a pair of sand shoes off the power line.
Jesse, who is Adam to you?
This is Adam. Adam was my business mentor when I tried to launch my own company.
All right, Robin, who is Adam to you?
This is Adam, and Adam is my first ever screen birth baby.
And he's smiling about that. All right, there we have it. It couldn't be simpler. John's team. Where will you start?
I'm going to start right with birthing.
Yes.
First of all, when you say first screen birthing, how many of you popped out on screen?
5, I think.
So this is you giving birth as opposed to you being the nurse and catching.
No, giving birth. Giving birth. It was my first screen job out of drama school, and it was.
What was the show?
Shark in the Park, and I played this teenage mum, pregnant mum. Yeah.
Could you demonstrate some of your giving birth acting techniques?
Well, it was a lot of that. A lot of that.
I felt that.
And I just got out of drama school, so I went hard. I really went there. Yeah, because you want to impress everybody, and even though...
How did you stay in touch with Adam after that? I mean, form an immediate bond with Adam straight afterwards? How do you still know him?
No, we haven't, which is what I find kind of amazing.
So how did you find him?
Well, these guys found him.
So I'm a bit confused. So Adam was acting the part of a baby.
Well, he was a baby back then.
Not so much acting.
So was Adam just out of drama school as well? Jesse, can you remind us what you're alleging Adam was?
Adam was my business mentor when I launched my own company.
Which was?
Well, I tried to launch my own company.
Which was?
I had a great business idea. I would be on a phone.
Good.
And people would text the phone and ask me a question, and I would find the answer and text them back, and I'd charge them $2.
So I would go, what's the capital of the country say? Text that to you. You'd go on Google, look it up.
Yeah, I think Google was still in its infancy because I hadn't really heard about them.
You would use encyclopedias.
Yeah, I'd have reference tools around me, yes, Paul. Because I thought, people would be like, sometimes at the pub arguing over who was the leading test run scorer,
Yep.
And they go,
Let's text Jesse.
Yeah.
And you get that from the encyclopedia?
Yeah, or a Wisden's Cricket Almanac maybe penned. What was John Bridges' first words on Ice TV, for example? Google wouldn't have that, but I would maybe have a black book and I would call John Bridges and say, what were they?
Was Adam's first advice to you, this is a crap idea?
I remember actually he said to me, someone's already doing this, and I said, what are their names? And he said, Google. And they're quite big.
How did the business go, Jesse? Big success?
Wasn't a big success. The hardest part actually was the financials of how I would get the money from the text messaging. Yeah.
So you couldn't work out how to charge for texts?
Well, Telecom, yes.
That would surely be the simplest part of the equation.
Vodafone and Telecom get the money, so you got to convince them to then give some of that money to you, and that was sort of the problem. They were charging.
And what was the problem? What did they say?
Well, they said that if you charge $2 for a text, that we take $1.80 of it, and you can get 20 cents. It wasn't worth my time. I'm fossicking through a black book looking for John Bridges' phone number.
Making other phone calls to try and verify
what I mean?
things.
And 20 cents just wasn't going to pay for it. But I went quite far down the line.
No, it's clearly not true. Moving on.
Ewan, what was your one?
Adam is the local power board guy down at my place, and the line goes from the power pole to your house, and where it bolts onto your house there, that piece broke on my property, and Adam was trying to say, well, that's your problem, you have to pay for the repair, and I'm going, no, you own it from there to my house. And we had this argument for a little while, and we just sort of became mates, and well, we're just talking, we're just chewing the fat, right? And we're just chewing the fat, and I said, so, what's your biggest problem? And he was going, well, it's the shoes on the power line. I said, so do you get any good ones? He goes, I got a pair today. And it was like a brand new pair of Skechers. And they were size 11. I said, that's my size. He goes, you can have them. So I had them, and we've sort of, now when he comes down, he'll call in for a coffee if I'm home, and
It feels like there's a tiny section of the story missing because it goes from we were having an argument and then we were friends.
Yeah, well, because I won the argument. I'm going, good on you, mate. You know, we're just chatting. We're just chewing the fat. Made him a cup of coffee.
But wait a minute, the power company decided you won the argument? Clearly
No, not the power company at all. This is, see, he comes down by himself. The whole company doesn't come down. He just comes down in his own van with a ladder on it.
So he opened up his van. There's a whole lot of shoes. Was it just full of shoes, is it?
They take them down all the time, because I've asked after this. We sit around and talk about this sort of stuff.
What else have you discussed?
We talk about celebrities and stuff like that, and, you know, things that you must travel a lot, you and or do.
They go on and on about that.
I love how he nods at everything. He's very good.
Adam is nodding at everything. Remember that time, Adam, we went down to the... Yeah.
He really
He's just nodding at everything.
You have just heard 3 very plausible stories.
Each one more plausible than the last.
Yes.
Well, I think Robin's telling the truth.
I was in my head kind of mentally scratching each one of them off, but unfortunately I got to Ewan and scratched him off as well. Jesse strikes me as an intelligent chap, so his story just cannot be true. unless he's become clever recently. I'm saying Robin as well.
Adam is Robin's weird baby.
Adam, would you like to reveal your true identity?
My name's Adam and I was Jesse Mulligan's business mentor.
To be fair, it was never going to work out for Jesse in business. He comes from Hamilton. The only successful businessman to come out of Hamilton was the guy who owns the bus to Auckland. Join us after the break for Quick Fire. Welcome back. Our last round tonight is Quick Fire, where our panellists lie not only through their teeth, but against the clock. And again, they don't know if they're about to read out a fact about themselves or something that we've made up, something they've never seen in their lives before. Oliver, your turn.
I'm going to use this one. I'm actually the shortest member of my family.
Do you have a sister? You do have a sister.
I do have a sister.
She taller than you?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm about 6'4",
You're 6'7", aren't you?
maybe.
Yes, you're 6'7".
So you have a 6'8" sister.
Oliver, perhaps you could stand for just a moment. And Penny, perhaps we could get you to stand next to Oliver.
I'd just like to say that my sister has been teased all her life.
Okay, 6'8" sister.
Yeah.
How tall's your mum? How tall's your mum, Oliver?
My mother is 7'6".
Wow.
All right,
Pretty credible. What do you think?
I'm stumped.
Well, you wouldn't be if you were in his family.
All right, Jesse, we need a verdict on this. What do you think?
Paul, we don't think that's true.
I'm shocked. So, Shorthouse, they don't think it's true.
Actually, it is a lie.
Ewan Gilmore.
I was arrested for stealing a car battery from a car parked outside the Henderson police station.
True.
If you had to make a snap call on it.
It is quick fire, so...
Why were you stealing it?
I needed a car battery. So there's me and my mate. We hopped in the car and we saw a particular car that I knew that I could open the bonnet of without having to get inside the car. And
What type of car is that?
Probably a Mark II Escort, something like that.
Probably a Mark II Escort.
A Mark I Escort.
Why are they so easy to open the hood?
They're just a little thing on the front of the car you can pop the bonnet with.
So there's no...
Oh, you've got to do that once.
I'm sorry, there's no what, Oliver?
That's a technical
No, that's the technical term. When you're in your car and you want to open the bonnet, normally... Ka-kunk.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, the kakunk was on the outside of the car.
Why would you put a
At the
ka-kunk
front.
on the outside of the car? That makes no sense.
Early days back then, people didn't steal car batteries.
When was this?
Or did they?
One particular person did.
The fact that the police station was right beside the car, that didn't deter you?
Didn't really think it through.
Right.
And what happened when you were arrested?
Initially, I ran.
With the bad trip?
You ran?
Yeah, so like they go, oi, buddy, because I don't even think anybody reported me. I think they just looked out the window and went, oi. So I just did a runner.
Talk about a jump start.
Yeah. The sad thing was, I'd parked my own car behind the car that I was stealing the car battery from. So even though I'd run away, I'd left some very crucial evidence at the scene.
What was your punishment?
I lost my licence for 28 days.
But it didn't matter because your car didn't go. Okay.
Let's decide.
Okay, we say it's true.
It's true.
All right, Robin, your turn.
Oh, possession.
Right.
Are we doing possession?
Well, if that's what it says, Robin, yes, we are. If you'd like to look under your desk, you will find a particular thing which we're calling a possession.
This little box has my cat's ashes in it.
Why is it dressed like a Christmas present?
Yeah.
You're giving it to somebody.
Merry Christmas.
This is what the vet did.
The vet did that.
Yeah.
Was it a Remuera vet?
It was obviously not a very good vet. The cat would still be walking around.
What was the cat called?
One such. It's a Scottish phrase.
Describe the cat.
One such a cat. She was Tabby,
When did she die?
and she died in 2007.
That box looks very pristine for such an old death.
Well, it's been hanging around the house for a while, so I just took it down to the cremator.
Where does it live in your house?
She's been on the shelf.
Like you.
It's just too festive. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you
It's
mean.
sombre, it's funereal.
Is that a word?
Is it
Funereal.
It's very close to a word.
What do you,
Lie. I think it's a lie.
what do you think?
Lie.
We think it's a lie.
Robin?
Well, it is in fact true. This is one such.
Well, that sound signals the end of the show, and I can reveal that Jessie's team have won with an unfeasible 255 points. Of course, this is not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week is Oliver Driver. Not so much for what you did tonight, but for however you talked someone into allowing you back on television. Good night.
Thanks, New Zealand On Air. Let's meet some more liars next week.